In our lesson today, you'll learn about paper mache. Paper mache is a material that is made of paper mixed with water, glue and other substances that hardens as it dries. Paper mache takes form of whichever object you have used to shape it when wet. You can decorate it anyhow you want. You use different objects which serve as the mold to make paper mache. The mold could be a cup, plate or any other object. So by the time the paper mixture dries off, it takes the shape of the mold. The picture you have on your screen now is a very beautiful paper mache. You can see how colorful it is. This colorful effect is achieved by painting it. So now let's look at the origin of paper mache. Paper mache originated from China, the inventors of paper itself. So not only did they invent paper mache, they also invented paper. They used paper mache to make helmets and all other things. So our first step here now is the making of the sash, which would also serve as our glue. Measure 3 tablespoons of dried starch into a bowl and you dilute it with a little water. Make sure you mix it properly to avoid lump, and then you pour boiling water into it until it becomes thick, and then you stir properly. And now we have our starch ready. The next step is to get a newspaper and then you cut it into small sizes. Then you add it into a bowl and you soak it for some minutes. After about 5 minutes of soaking, the next step is to blend it with a hand blender. For some people, they do not use the blender. Instead, they use the mortar. So you could also use a mortar to punch the paper until it becomes smooth. After blending the paper, we're going to pass it through a sieve. The goal here is to remove excess water and not to get the paper too dry. Now this is what we have. We're going to add our already made starch to it, and thereafter we're going to mix it thoroughly so that every bit of paper is coated with the starch. So now we're about to start. So we have our mold here. Remember I said the mold is to help us get the shape of any object we wish to do. We are going to use the regular cooking oil to rub the perimeter of our mold. This would help the mold to easily peel off from the bowl when it's dried. So next we are going to use the mache to cover the mold. We're going to make sure that the mache is properly covering the mold, leaving no space. We are going to continue doing that until the mold is completely covered. So if you don't have starch at home, another substitute can also go is custard. You can also follow the same procedures we followed when making our starch. After completely covering the mold, then you place it under the sun for it to dry. When it's completely dried, then we have our paper mat ready. So now you can see that because of the groundnut oil we used in rubbing it made it very easy for it to come off from the mold.